Hi everybody, how are you? Today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And for all of you who nurture someone, happy Mother's Day. Takes lots of people to do lots of nurturing, right? I'm so glad that you have popped in here with us today. And so this is our Friendship Journals on a Journey event this evening. And so the first month we have 4 different teams, and my team is the true junk team. And so then we also have the boho team, the junk team, the beginners team, and then the vintage team. And so on Sunday evenings each month, each of those groups is on one Sunday afternoon a month or evening. We start at 4 o'clock and then end at 10 Central. And so pop in. And so then we still have a couple more journeys, signatures. We started out each person making their own cover, sending it on to the next person on the team, and then the following people make a signature and put in the journal, and then they send it on to the next person on the team. And so it's been a lot of fun, and everybody of course has all kinds of different things that they are putting in the journals, and just so much fun. So I am going to, no, I guess I forgot to put this on here so I could see it. I hope that I can see comments here. This is just getting to be kind of, well, it's not fun to do a live and then not be able to see any comments. So hopefully I'll be able to see comments. I've been having pretty good luck on my phone, you guys. So thanks for popping in, and everybody's coming in here, and we're going to get started. And today, let me put you down here to the desktop. So today I am working on Carol's journal from Carol Adams Creations. Aren't these fun? So yes, I see everybody popping in. Let me see real quick. There's Mama P, who shared me into the group, in the Crafty Bunch group. So you guys, in the description is the group. So if you're not watching in the group, you can always pop in over there, and it's the best place to be able to see everybody, because then all you have to do is refresh your browser in between people, right? So Estella, Amy, Capri, Nicole, Cheryl, Susie, Jeanette, Missy. Oh, I'm probably missing a whole bunch of people. Thanks for popping in, you guys. I'll come back and say hello too. So look here, this isn't, and you guys know how I love little houses, right? So look at what Carol made. She made her whole journal look like a little house. Isn't that adorable? So, another one of these journals that is getting already pretty chunky. This is just with the 3 journals. So now I'm going to put in number 4, and then we'll still have one more. So I know last time I tried to do mine kind of thin. So I hope last month, I hope Anne doesn't feel slighted because hers was, I tried to make it a little bit thinner. But you guys, isn't this fun? Oh my gosh, look at this. And then more little houses. I love looking at the little houses. And then I think on the front of one of the other signatures, there's more little house. Oh, this house, isn't this adorable? This is like a kind of a printed mixed media piece. That is so fun. And then it's got a fabric chimney over here. How clever. So lots and lots of fun. And so here's one that's got a bunch of things about the lake in it. She loves going to the lake and spending time at the lake. So lots of fun things, lots of gorgeous images. And you guys, when you get one of these, when you've had so many friends work on it, when it comes back to you, it truly is a treasure, right? It just is a fabulous thing to keep. Now I'm like trying to figure, oh, here, I'll set it right there. I got to find it somewhere, a safe spot to sit, right? So one of the things about Carol is I can tell she loves music. She really, let me see. Well, she's a church choir director, for one thing. So does that tell you part of her love of music? So she really does love music, and I've got a couple of things here today that we're going to use for some of the signatures in her book. So I've got a couple of pieces that are from an old hymnal, and I thought that would be fun to work on. And then let me make my watch so it doesn't pop up every time I twist my wrist. And then I just got, a more contemporary, this was probably from the 70s or something. Oh, yes, this was published in 1970. Well, I was right. I was around back then. So, yes, I remember. That was a great song. So what I want to do is I want to put these together in a way that I can actually keep both of them in the journal and make a spread out of them. And so we want them to be about, like a half-page size. Oh, you guys, you know me and I got to write the stuff down or I'll have trouble remembering what it is, my dimensions. So, I thought I had a whatchamacallit pad, a Post-it note pad here, and I don't see it. I'll just have to grab some other piece of paper. Well, paper is something I'm not in short supply of, right? How about the rest of you? I know some of you are the same way. We got more people popping in. Thanks so much, you guys, for coming on your Mother's Day evening. We oh my gosh, you guys, I gotta tell you this. So we laughed. I told my daughter, I said, I've got a casserole that I had picked up at Costco, and so we can just have that. It was some kind of a chicken enchilada thing. It was more like a casserole. I thought it said chicken enchiladas. And so we had bought that the other day, and so she says, oh, that's good. She goes, I've got a salad that can go with it. And then we ended up, so my granddaughter was here, and she said, well, what about any rice? So I said, you know what? I think I've got an Instant Pot rice recipe for, Mexican rice that I used years and years ago. Let me see if I can find it. So we did that, and first off, so we decide we'll have the great-grandson help us in the kitchen because my daughter goes, I'm not cooking today. And so we got him to join in, and he was our helper. So I guided him through and helped him get all that together. We had a lot of fun. So that was pretty interesting, having an 8-year-old, help you in the kitchen. And, they're perfectly capable of doing that. So we had a lot of fun. And it turned out pretty good. But everything took longer than we thought it was going to, so that was kind of hilarious. We get ready to put the enchilada dish in, and it says cook it for an hour. We're like, an hour? Gosh. But it turned out, and my husband brought us a cake from Nothing Bundt Cake. He brought that with him this morning after he was out somewhere, so we had a great time. So what I want to do is, well, this is going to be way too long, way too wide. Let me think about this for a second. I think what we can do, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these together. I'm just going to glue these two sheets together, and then we're going to go from there. I kind of had this issue when I had some music for Grace's journal, and I didn't want to cut the pages. I couldn't tell how old the pages were, and from what I could tell, guessing from what I was reading, it kind of looked like the music was from the 40s, the actual booklet. And so I thought, you know what, I don't want to cut this all up. So I had to really think about it. And my goodness, there's a million ways to fold paper, you guys. So, don't be afraid to, just play around and give it some thought. Take a piece of, just a piece of printer paper and play around and, with it. If you have ideas and you're trying to figure out if something is going to work, because that'll give you a chance to, check it out. See if it's really going to work. So I'm going to put this on here. I got this glass mat out because I've got I want to get messy here in a minute. Carol likes bright colors. She likes bright colors, and I see her doing things that are kind of a mixed media type thing all the time. And so I thought, I think I'm going to try to incorporate some of that into her book. Nothing Bundt cakes are so yummy, Cheryl. You're exactly right. But you know what? Oh my goodness. When you're not used to all of that, they're kind of sugary too. The cream cheese icing is so yummy. Oh, I saw Cheryl make a yummy cream cheese icing. Now I've made this too long to cut into here, right? So I wasn't really thinking about that. But we need this to be, our page. Oh, I didn't even write my dimensions down after I said that's what I needed that piece of paper for. So to make this the height of a piece of paper folded in half. This is what we're going for. So we need it to be 8.5. So I'm going to do 8.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it like this. I'm going to slide it in here. I'm not going to press all of that down super hard. I don't want too much of a crease right there. So 8.5. We'll just cut it right here. And I'm just going to slice it. Now what I'm going to do, and I might have to go back with this and kind of put a little glue down there and see how I like it. Now this is what I wanted to do. I could have folded it up the other way, and I've done that before, but I really didn't want to do that because I wanted the words to still be going the right direction. I wanted the music for this song and the words to be going the right direction. So if I slice it off and I put it this way, then they're still going to be the same, facing the right way. The song's going to, match what it went with. And now I'm just going to make this like a big pocket across the bottom. So let's do it. Let's just do it. What'd you guys do today? Anything special? We kind of had a day of just kind of relaxing. How about you guys? How many of you were able to have a relaxing day? And then our granddaughter, she recently started working at a restaurant, and of course Mother's Day is probably one of the... Oh, wait a second. I almost glued that upside down. After all that talk of making sure I wanted it to go the right way. Was that right? Yes. Well, of course, because the other way it was upside down. What is this one? Yep. Okay. Just checking. Let me just check. Okay, so, I probably did that because I was gluing it, right? Oh, my word. You've just been crafting all day, Nicole. That's cool. Well, oh my goodness. This feels awfully tight. And I hope this isn't one of those times where then all of a sudden I'm trying to get it out, and then instead of getting it unclogged, all of a sudden I get a pin stuck all the way in. I would not be happy with that. I have not been crafting as much the last few days, and so yeah, I should have thought about this. Okay, I think we're going to be good to go. Hopefully we're going to be good to go. Once you can kind of get it started. Well, I already put that other glue down the seam. I don't know why I had so much trouble. Okay, so I'm going to put it down the center, and then we're going to just put it on these other edges. Well, I tell you what, this working upside down could be dangerous. I gotta remember. You know, sometimes you start doing something a way you're not used to, and then you kind of mess it up. And cap the glue. Cap the glue. Okay. Anyway, so the granddaughter had to work a double shift today, and we've had other people that have worked in food service, and Mother's Day is one of the busiest days. Now I kind of am wishing I would have my other step I wanted to do. I'm kind of wishing I would have already tried it. So because Carol likes some bright colors, let me see here. Let me see. I have got to, at least I hope, yeah, here's a better color. I was thinking I had some other inks out here. That's not a good one. You know, let's just use this blue color. I just want something on the edge of that pocket before I do anything else. And you can take these brushes, and if you'll just get the color out of them, you don't necessarily have to be that careful going from one color to the next. Not like, you know, some of the, no, why did I say that? Now I can clearly see it putting some of that other color on there, but it's fine. It's gonna be fine. So I just want to put a little bit of this on here to give it a little bit of definition. And since she likes some brighter colors, let's just do that. So we got that blue. Let's do the other side of the pocket. And I kind of wish that this was a, you know, a paper that could take water better. It would be super fun to do a variety of these oxide colors and then spray them and let them do their magic. And you guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should go over. I have a YouTube channel, and I've got a quick little video to watch and show you what happens with distressed oxide inks. Some people don't know what they do, and they're missing the magic. Okay. But I've got some distress oxide sprays. Let's have some fun here. Look, these are just waiting to have fun. I hope they're not, let's see, shake well. Okay. Let's see what happens. I don't want to spray too much. And who knows, you know, it could come out in a big blob. You just never know. Yeah, see? And it's kind of hard to know what's going to happen. Look at that. It just that circle-y thing. Not much control over that, huh? Now I'm going to use a kind of a blue color. And this should give us a little bit of a, you know what? Let's use something else. Guys, I'm going to have to turn my fan off probably. Or that could be dangerous. There's no telling what we might spray. Now, because this is blue and this is a pink color, where they cross over, we might get some fun purple colors. I don't want to do too much though. Some would be good. Some would be good. Oh well. Man, there's not a lot of control of that. But look, that's kind of fun. Look, you can see where I must have been holding it right there. Let me give that a spritz so we don't have a fingerprint. There we go. Okay. And there might be something I should be doing to make sure that doesn't clog. And I don't know what that is. I'll have to check that out. But look how fun that is. Now, I should probably give that a quick dry. So I can flip it over. Let's see if this works. There we go. It doesn't look like it's really super wet still. We got lots of color on there though. So I just wanted to, take it down from that white. Okay. And then, oh, look at that. It came right through the paper. Well, that's probably not that good, because if it's coming through the paper, if I spray from this side, we'll probably have a mess. I don't really want it on both sides. So I'm just going to put some color. We'll just add some color here. We'll just swirl it on a little bit. Again, just so it's not so so plain and whitish. Even a little color kind of helps, doesn't it? A little bit of color. Oh, thank you. Liz, it kept looking like it was going to get stormy, but where I am today, it hasn't really been too bad. Still dark. I think the kids said they went out and it was kind of sprinkling a little bit. But I don't think today we've had much rain. It's so weird that, like the other day, we'd been somewhere and we were coming home. And on the way home, it just looked darker and darker towards, the direction we were going. And pretty soon, the closer we got to home, there was so much water in the streets and just like flash floods across, like along the, like the side of the street. Just a big mess. So it was kind of scary. Okay, now then, let's do this. We for sure are going to have it fold in the middle. That's going to be our middle. And this is going to be a little bit thicker than, probably we would want it to be. And, and I may be sorry when I get ready to put those signatures together, right? Or the one signature. Yeah, see, now we've got this in here, and it's going to need to have a little bit of, glue or tape or something to make sure that it's going to lay down nice. So I'm just going to put a little more glue back in there. And hold that down a second. We could put washi tape or something too. I've got some washi tape pulled out here. But just make that so it's not... Okay, so we've got that. And what we can do is we can pull this over to where it would be... we could do it this way and have it open, and that would be, kind of the surprise. Here's the thing. But I kind of like the idea of, as you open the journal, that you could see the page. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it here. I'm going to fold it here so it will be, the page width. So that's about, well, if the other way is 8.5, then this would be about 5. No, 8.5 by 11, 5. 8.5 by 11, that's 5.5. Did you see me doing live math? Ugh, scary. But I'm going to just do this one at 5.25. But I tell you what, I think on this side, I'm going to do the other way. I am going to fold it this way. Because it's going to be, unless I made this a center spread, you're not going to, it's not going to matter. And so I think on this side, I will go ahead and make this one. This is not, wait a second. Have I thought about that wrong? Well, if this is, I have this in here, that'll be at the center. I think that's right. It's weird, but it'll work. But, so from this side, no, I don't, is that right? Oh, you guys. I think so. And then this one, for sure this one could only be that, about that 5 1/4. I want to be about the same. So I'm going to do this one at 5 1/4. So this is where it'll be, and it'll be, yeah, it's going to be an odd page. But that's okay. Now this one, when you're looking at it like that, you know, and we might add something else in there. Okay. I know. What in the world is she doing? Now, check out this piece. I've got another colorful piece, and I want to do something with this to where it might be a pocket or something. And you guys, this is so fun. Here's map. Okay, so Carol lives in Texas. She lives out in the Dallas area. So I wanted to show you this. So Carol lives off over here in this little pinkish coral section over here. She lives in this area. And then, so this is the Dallas area. This is the Fort Worth area. And so then I live over here, and right kind of where it's, you know, making this little bend in this highway that circles around here. So I live right around here, and Carol lives off over here. And, you know, you think that's not that far, but oh my goodness. The last time I had to go somewhere off over this way, and I was on, I don't know if it was this highway or this one, and it took me over an hour to get from my house to like off over here to the other side of Dallas. Ugh. The traffic is just, you know, it's just crazy. So, you know, I don't really like traffic. I'm not afraid to drive on the highway. Thank goodness being here in Texas, because that's what you have. Everywhere is a highway. But, oh man, you know, it's just so many highways. We laughed the other day talking about going somewhere, and and we said, okay, let's not stay on the highway. And so we set the GPS to not on the highway. And then my daughter says, she goes, I don't know, I think we should go back on the highway, because she goes, this seems pretty creepy. And she was not wrong. So we decided probably not to do that again. So let's put this one, and I'm thinking maybe we'll just make a pocket to add on to something. Because, or, oh, I know what let's do. Let's make the pocket this way, and we can put all of Carol's area, all of the Dallas area. So we need to measure to make sure we can get a pocket that's not bigger than our space. So I'm just going to do it about 5 1/4. So I'm going to hold it back over this way a little ways. Well, then I'm going to miss Carol's area. I got to get Carol's area in. That was the point of using the old map. I got to get Carol's spot in here. Okay, so I'm going to pull it over. Okay, I'm thinking about this wrong. If I wanted to be able to put it in a signature, Okay, I can put this part as the signature. And then it would be, you'd have to flip it back the other way. Oh, that'd be okay, I suppose. But how could we put it this way so it would be on this side? So it'd be on the front side. I don't think I can. I think I'm going to have to live with this and do it this way, you guys. So we'll do this. And I'll just fold it here. We'll just make this part the pocket. And then I'm just going to cut. I think I'm just going to cut this at 6 inches and trim off the other part. Oh my goodness, where's my cutter? So let's cut this at about, I'm making it a little bit less. Well, no, let's just go ahead and do it at the 5.5. No, 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 no. I'll cut my, I need some to go in for the, to go into the signature area. Oh my goodness. All right. Now the other thing is, we know that Carol likes her little houses, and that would be fun to make a little house pocket actually. I don't know, maybe we're not going to do that with this section. Let's not. That seems too crazy. Let's go ahead and just glue this for our pocket. And I'm not going to glue all of this here because I can lay this on another piece. I can sandwich this edge over another piece right here to give me a little bit more room. And I don't need this tall. We'll just make it kind of a shorter pocket. We don't need Plano. Okay, so now let's go ahead with this and let's make a little finger hole. Well, let's see, so let me see where this is going to be. It's about 5.5, 2.5. Hey Carol, how are you? Hi Missy. Missy, you're on here somewhere. I think you're folded over, aren't you? We got Missy on here too. All right. So let's go ahead and use a little bit more ink on here. Oh, that did not seal good down there. So this is just some of, the basics of, what we're going to put together. And I actually think I'm probably going to work on this some more on Wednesday on our event that's called Mixed Media Mayhem. And so I'm gonna work some more on this journal there because I've got some things I want to do that would certainly fall into that category. So I thought, oh, you know what? A lot of times I have not been good about doing other parts of the journal, and then I've just been showing it at the end, right? But I've been good about showing you the signature when I got done with it. Okay, so we got that on there. And then we can put some other fun stuff on here. And let's make one of those cute little paper clips that looks like the little house. Let me see. Do we want to make it out of some more of the map? I don't know. I'm trying to see what's on the map to see if it makes any sense. That part is the Fort Worth part. Well, I don't like those. Let's do something else. Let's grab some other paper. Something pretty and bright. You guys, I got these scraps. These are from when I was with Close to My Heart, and you would get these sections. Ooh, I like this one. Look, I just flipped to something I like. We'll just do this. And we had these samples that you could get of the different papers. So look at all those little short little samples I've got, or they're just quarter pages. So let's make a little house, and let's make it about that wide. So for these, you just need your piece of paper and cut a strip off, and any size will do, right? Any size. And you can make them how tall you want, how skinny you want. And then we're just going to fold this in half. And this one is not exactly a completely hidden paper clip. It's kind of a partial hidden paper clip, but still cute. I think it's still cute. And I'm going to put this in here. Now I'm going to put the long side inside just to give it a little bit more support down the the inside of that. So I'm gonna put that there. I'm just trying to see if I like one side better than the other to be the outside of the house. I don't think it really matters. And now we're just going to seal it up. We're just going to put our glue on and seal it up. And you can, if you want to, let me grab a piece of, you could even grab a little piece of tape and put on here, because the tape you can press down in between that a little bit better. And you can still glue over. It'll still work. And then we'll just close it up. And now we got the base of our house. And let's see, do we have something fun for let's see, she likes some pink colors. It sounds like she kind of likes some of the same colors I like, you guys. Oh, this could be kind of fun and different. Oh, you know what? I kind of like this one because it kind of, going across, it kind of reminds me a little bit of shingles. Let's use that one. And so we just need that to be, I don't know, you don't need it a whole lot wider than the first part. Let's check it out. So we just want it to hang over a little bit. So I would say probably about 1/2 inch. So how wide is this? This is about 2 1/8. So 2 1/8. Then another 1/2 inch. Oh my gosh. No. So 2 1/2. Okay, 2 5/8. Why am I having to keep coming up with these weird sizes? And now you can just make your house top as tall as you want. If you want to make a real pointy top, you can do that. I don't think I am going to do a super pointy one. I'm just going to do this. I'll just start this. I'm just going to chop that off and see where that puts us. It's still kind of tall. I think I'm going to, and here's the other thing too. You can mark the center of this. Oh my gosh, I don't want to measure. Let me just pinch it. Okay, there's the center. And then you can take this, and if you can see where it is, I'm going to use my pencil and just kind of mark it. And then you can put it in the tracks of your things, and you can put one of them here and put your little line up there, and then just get your fingers out of the way. Do it again. And just chop that off like that. Now, I'm not going to leave this pointy, but we can, in fact, it might not even, well, I'll show you. Hang on, and we'll talk about it some. Uh-oh, came out of the track. So here's what happens. When you do this, then you have to be really careful. I mean, you can put it down here, and then you put it where you want it, and then you chop your angle off? Or do you just, slide it up where you want it? Now, I think on this one, I just want to, cut some of that off so that it is just, a flat top house. And, man, I've got this at a bad size to be able to hang on to it. And you don't even have to do this. My goodness, you could just take a pair of scissors. I like to do things the hard way. Let's all do it the extremely hard way. Okay, so now this house is kind of tall, but I don't really mind that. So let's go ahead and put the glue on. And well, it's kind of hard for me now because I don't know how far down I can go without that showing. It looks like about right there. Okay, that'll work. And we'll just put that on there. And make sure you got it at the top where your whatchamacallit is, your paper clip. Okay. So we got that on there. Let's see. And then we could put some windows. Oh, I saw something a minute ago that had something that was kind of a little grid. Oh, I bet it was on that map, and I don't even know what it was. Well, a lot of the map pieces would have grid on it. Okay, sorry. Let me see if some of this makes more sense to use. So you can just take bits and pieces of whatever. I'm going to cut right here. Put that for a window. And actually, maybe I'll use, yeah, I think we can do 2 windows. I think there's room for 2 windows and a door. It's sticky. So you can do this, and then what you can do is just take a line, you know, like a black pen or something, and go around it and just edge it. And one trick is when you're doing something like that, go around it more than once And if if you feel like it's too messy, make it look messy on purpose. That kind of gives it this fabulous artful look. And nobody will know that it wasn't supposed to be like that. So we've got those. Now we need another one, don't we? We need something across the top. Let's make another one across the top. Let me see here. Maybe we could make a... Well, this is kind of fun using this map with these little grid things. I'm going to make it kind of long. Oh, sorry. I think I'm out of the frame. Maybe we'll just make a tall or a long wide window upstairs. How's that? And you can make all these out of different papers if you wanted to. It just doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to glue those on just like that. Or, we've got them that size. So, I mean, you can flip them over and see if you like it better on the other side. Oh, here's the county line for one of our counties. It's funny when you look at maps and some of the things that you see on them. It's just, I don't know. I think it's interesting, the kind of stuff that sometimes you learn from just looking at things on maps. My question is, why does everywhere have a beltline road? I don't know what that means, but why does everywhere seem to have one? I think it's kind of funny. My husband and I were talking about that before we were going somewhere a week or so ago, and that was where you're supposed to get off. And I go, and it's not the only one. I go, and it's not like this one continues. I said, it's like every city has got a bunch of these, the Beltline Road. I don't even know what that means. I'm going to try to get these where the words are at least up. Right side up. Okay. And then our long window on top. Oh, maybe we should put this here with the lake. If it had any meaning, I would, but we know she likes lakes. So, I wouldn't spend this much time doing these little, oh, that's upside down. But I know she likes the little houses. And push this down a little bit. Okay. And you know what? Carol is a true Texan. She's born and raised in Texas. And she says she's never lived anywhere else. So, there you have it. Born and raised a true Texan. My husband is from Texas. His family moved around some. They moved back and forth to Colorado a couple times, and that was where we met. So that eventually, he still had family down here. And so that's how we ended up back down here. Okay, I had a little bit of trim. Here we go. And now's when you can, have some fun and put some things on and add other elements and decorate it. I'm going to put this on farther across, and then I'll trim the ends off later. I have to put it across there. Okay. Well, I lost my hang on a second, you guys. When she called and then I didn't answer, I lost my comments. Okay, there we go. Linda says she has made little small wool houses. Oh, that's fun. Were you doing wool felting? Missy, I like that. That would be a fun idea. Wrong scissors. Okay. And Carol, not only is she the choir director, but she plays piano. And I think she plays piano for a lot of the kids, concert things or whatever, the choir things. She is a busy lady. Okay, so now, let me see if I've got that. I have a nice little black pen that is one of my favorites to use, and I think it's sitting at the other table. I might have something behind me. Hang on one second. Somebody was saying they liked these. Let's try one. I want to try a thin one. So 05, 03, 01. Let's just try a small one. A small liner. And see how that works. Okay. So when you give it a little bit of definition, it makes a big difference. Oh, and I ran over the thing. Okay. Look how much difference that makes. These little flat pieces of paper, it's hard to keep it sometimes at the edge of the paper, the outside edge, because it just wants to jump up there onto the paper. That's why I said, sometimes if you just make it look messy, it looks better because it looks like it was meant to be messy. But that's one thing with these little map pieces is even though a lot of it is going, up and down or, across, there are these other lines. Oops, I can't stay in there. There are these other lines that are, diagonal or, a little squiggle here and there. So that kind of helps with not being able to go perfectly around here. I need something fun for a doorknob. Okay. And then, you could also add some marks up here to, make your, we could do, well, let's just do it. Ooh, now I feel all shaky. So we'll just make our little lines for some little scalloped shingles. Very cottage looking, right? And that's one thing about having this angle that's going out to the sides, is even if you kind of keep your scallops about the same size, they're going to hit at different places simply because you're starting at a different spot. Is it perfect? No. Is it fun? Yes. Would you make one? Have you made any of these little houses? Now I am coming across where I think I can feel where that paper clip is underneath. Okay. Now, do we go down any farther? Look, I've got them all wonky on this side. Anywho, let's just leave it at that. There's no way I can't even it out, because if I start down here and start, then it's going to be too close over here. So, I mean, that is what it is. And, they're not meant to be perfect, right? They don't have to be just perfect. And so we could tuck one of these along, on the pocket when we get that on. And let's see, what can we use for another page for over on this side? We could let's do this. If we stick this in here, no, I don't want that. I just want one. Okay, I'm going to trim this part off, maybe. Gosh, I bet I know where it is. I am going to cut that section off. I don't need all of that to be doubled right there. That'll make it really thick and hard to deal with. So let's just trim a bunch of this off, and then we'll glue the other section onto the side of that envelope, and then we'll have our two sides. You guys, my turn is almost up. And coming up after me is Grace after me? Oh my gosh, I looked at that I don't know how many times, and now I don't remember. Okay, so now we can put this on the back of this section here, and then that will be, we can put this in between in the signature. This will be the part that gets sewn in the signature. So come back, you guys. I'm going to work on it some more on Wednesday. Our event starts at 11 Eastern. I'll be on at 4 Eastern. So I hope you guys will pop in and see what everybody's got going on. Mixed media is always a fun day because you never know. I like the day that we did the event with the tags. Oh my gosh, that was so fun because, it actually ended up being kind of a mini, oh, here's my city over here. It ended up being a, kind of like a mini, mixed media event because tags really are. Most people put so many fun things on tags. Okay, so this, I'm probably going to leave this other side. I'm probably going to leave it larger. So, but I am going to go ahead and cut it. So I know where that needs to be cut. Thanks for joining us today, you guys. And I hope that you have really been enjoying the Friendship Journals on a Journey. And this was such a great thing that Cheryl put together. Our Mama P's Crafty Creations. Such a fun idea. And then when we have our segments in July, we'll be going through our our journals will have come back to us, and then we'll be going through our journals, you guys. Okay, thank you so much for being here, you guys. I have really enjoyed my time with you today, and let's go. If you're in the Crafty Bunch, which I hope you are, just refresh your browser, and then our next person will pop up there, okay? Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.